We often overlook the people whose voices speak the softest, yet carry the deepest truth. That old woman's warning reminds us that wisdom isn't always packaged in polished language or delivered by someone with status. Sometimes it comes from those who have spent their entire lives watching, learning, surviving. People who have seen danger up close, who understand life's patterns in ways books and money never could. When she said, "Don't go, you won't come back," it wasn't just a sentence. It was a lifetime of lessons condensed into a single moment. And isn't it remarkable how the most powerful guidance often comes from those we least expect? If we learn to listen, to truly listen, to the voices we normally walk past, we may discover truths that protect us, guide us, and even save us, because sometimes the quietest voice is the one that sees the furthest. In that instant, when the old woman spoke, something shifted in the air, something so subtle yet so powerful that even a millionaire, accustomed to controlling every room he walked into, suddenly felt small. It's strange how certain warnings bypass all the layers we build around ourselves: confidence, logic, even pride. They go straight to that instinctive place inside us that knows when something isn't right. He wasn't scared of her, he was scared of the truth in her voice. Because deep down, we all recognize when a moment carries weight. It doesn't matter how successful we are or how invincible we imagine ourselves to be, some words cut through every illusion and touch the part of us that understands danger without explanation. And in that frozen second, he realized something we often forget: not all threats roar, some arrive as a whisper. We live in a world where appearances often decide whose words we value and whose we dismiss. It's almost automatic. People see age, skin color, clothing, or social standing and assume they already know the worth of the person in front of them. That's why this moment matters so much. A wealthy man, surrounded by privilege and influence, nearly walked past a warning simply because it came from someone society trains us to overlook. But danger doesn't discriminate, and wisdom doesn't belong to any one class or status. Sometimes the people with the least material wealth carry the richest insight. Her words challenged that blind spot, forcing him to confront a truth we all must face: judging the messenger can cost us the message. And in life, missing the right message at the right moment can cost far more than pride, because the truth doesn't need permission to speak, it only needs someone willing to hear it. There are moments in life when a single sentence carries the power to change everything, but only if we're willing to hear it. Listening, real listening, isn't just about sound, it's about humility. It's about allowing ourselves to pause long enough to recognize that we don't have all the answers, no matter how educated, experienced, or successful we think we are. That old woman's warning was easy to ignore, yet impossible to forget, because it touched the part of him, and of all of us, that knows danger doesn't always come with flashing signs. Sometimes it arrives softly, disguised as concern, offered by someone who has nothing to gain from speaking up. And when life gives us such a moment, it's rarely random. It's a doorway, a second chance, a subtle nudge away from regret. Listening may feel small, but it can become the very thing that saves us, because survival often begins with silence, and the courage to pay attention. When she spoke, her words didn't come from fear, they came from memory. You could almost feel the weight behind them, the kind that only forms after years of witnessing things others overlook. Experience has a way of sharpening a person's instincts, especially for those who've lived through hardship, uncertainty, or danger. People like her carry stories that were never written down, lessons carved into their lives by time itself. And that's why her warning mattered. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't exaggerated. It was simply honest, shaped by everything she had survived. The millionaire didn't just hear her voice, he felt the history inside it. The authority that doesn't come from wealth but from endurance. Sometimes the most reliable guide is someone who has walked through shadows long enough to recognize when another person is headed toward one. Because experience doesn't just teach, it protects. Life has a way of placing us at crossroads without announcing which one leads to safety and which one leads to regret. Most of the time, we move through these moments without noticing their significance. But every now and then, something, or someone, steps in with a warning that feels heavier than ordinary advice. That's what happened when she spoke. Her words weren't just caution, they were a turning point, a final chance wrapped in a single breath. Moments like that don't come often, and when they do, they're easy to dismiss because they feel inconvenient or unclear. Yet destiny rarely shouts. It nudges. It whispers. It gives us one last opportunity to reconsider before we step into something we can't step back from. And the truth is, we never know which moment is the moment until it's past, because sometimes the difference between return and no return is a warning we choose to respect.